Nobody can take away your right, R-I-G-H-T, to receive the sacraments in your own right, R-I-T-A, T-E.
Can a Catholic be a Democrat?
Can a Catholic be a...
Can a Democrat be a Catholic?
Can a Catholic can very well be a Democrat as much as a Democrat can be a Catholic. No way.
Are the Byzantine rites, like in the neighborhood, schismatic?
Are the Byzantine rites in the neighborhood schismatic? How would I know what they are?
They have changed too, haven't they, after Vatican II?
I don't know. Honestly, I'm a non-expert on Eastern rites.
Oh, okay. But I mean, they've
Ask Father Perez.
stuff too, haven't they?
Please ask Father Perez.
Father, if I've understood all this correctly, when you say that these rights are valid but illicit, does that mean that in a case of an emergency, somebody could receive the final rights?
Oh yeah.
validly?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
There were no priests
Oh yeah.
anyway.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So we could call the Russian
See, in
Orthodox
it's one of the oldest principles in the church. In articulo mortis, it's called, in the article of death. That means a real, true emergency. In a real, true emergency,
an accident on the freeway.
you just grab what you can get hold of. After 3 days in the California desert, you usually don't look at the liquid before you taste it.
What about there's no salvation outside the Catholic Church, Roman Catholic Church?
Different topic. I'm serious, because that has to be dealt with very carefully according to the teaching of the church. Can't do that today. We can't do that today. Yes?
Two of my family members now belong to the Byzantine
Huh?
rite.
Yeah?
Two of my family members now belong to the Byzantine rite, although they were born into the Roman rite. And once in a while there'll be a priest there who is bi-ritual,
Yeah?
Roman and Byzantine.
Yeah?
How would you explain that?
I can't see a problem. I would have to know the individual case. But I can't see a problem, generally speaking. There are several bi-ritual priests. I mean, there's many bi-ritual priests today, and I explained that we're living in an emergency, a lack of priests, and I don't see a problem with that, generally speaking. Okay? What else? Yes?
With regard to Father Perez and the topic of this conversation, you indicated that the schismatic church, this new church, this bishop, who was made a bishop of this new church, he's a schismatic bishop now. Is that correct? Or am I correct in understanding that?
There's two different papers nowadays, the ones that are written by John Paul II and the ones that are written by God. According to conventional wisdom, which is very conventional and very little wisdom, all the bishops in the United States are the true bishops of their diocese. But canon law defines that somebody who is a public and formal heretic cannot hold office.
Okay.
So you want to ask, why don't you directly ask me if Mahoney is the Archbishop of Los Angeles?
I have no concerns about Mahoney. My concerns are Father Perez. Again, you indicated that this bishop that consecrated Father Perez was now made a bishop of a schismatic church. When he utilizes the old rite, and for the priests that he consecrates, are those priests then not consecrated a schismatic priest?
No. As little as if, out of courtesy, a Russian Orthodox who is a schismatic and a heretic, just because nobody else is available, would use the old rite of the Catholic Church. We are not discussing the individual who ordained him. We are asking about the question: what rite was he ordained in, and was it valid?
My point would be more directly, the bishop, by his faculties as a bishop, has the power to make a priest. If he's
No.
not a bishop, that's what
No. No. Any bishop who is validly consecrated can ordain priests. Only a diocesan bishop is allowed to issue the permission, according to the law,
Okay, yeah,
or a religious superior.
I have no difficulty there. If though see where my difficulty is, why a bishop of this new rite would utilize the old rite. Why
That's
would
my
they-
difficulty too. Why would a bishop of the new rite use the old rite without joining the old rite?
Exactly.
That's the question which I can't answer. After 25 years of friendship with Cardinal Stickler, I still don't understand that point. Why is he so generous in helping tradition with the old sacraments, but still on a daily basis does the new thing?
And this now would not constitute to you a prudent and practical doubt as far as does he have the power to make priests?
No, of course not. I told you that that is not dependent on the person. He may be an open heretic and he still has the power to ordain.
If he's a bishop.
Yeah, which he is. He is a bishop, so he can do it.
Of a schismatic church, you indicated.
That's not the point. The point is he can do it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Does this mean that before a thing that happened in Washington, that Schuchart, who was ordained a bishop by an American,
I don't know the case.
I know, but he was.
I don't know
ordained
the
a
case.
bishop.
Old Roman Catholic bishop. He was an old Roman Catholic bishop.
There are old Roman Catholic bishops that are invalid, and there are old Roman Catholic bishops that are recognized valid. I don't know who is he. Next question. Okay. Yeah?
They were talking about the Pope retiring or abdicating or whatever it is at the end of this year on some program on TV. Is he allowed to do that?
You mean if the Pope is allowed to retire?
Yeah,
The Pope is allowed to retire. We had one Pope in history who did, and he became a saint. That's the difference, by the way.
I guess that's some misinformation I have.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if he's going to retire because I have to repeat what I say at almost every conference. I ain't no prophet.
Who retired?
Who?
Who was the saint?
I forgot. Right now I forgot. Petrus Damianus, but don't ask me which Pope he was. I forgot.
There was a Pope at
We celebrate him in the breviary, and yet I can't remember.
There was one a Pope at the age of 15, and he abdicated.
There was no Pope at the age of 15 ever.
At the age of 15.
There was no Pope at the age of 15 ever. Read the Guinness Book of Records. I'm serious. You find it in there. The youngest cardinal ever, if I remember, was 8. The youngest bishop, if I remember, was 12, and the youngest pope ever was 18. That was in the 19th century, when a wicked woman in Rome decided who's going to be pope. They have always been recognized, by the way.
Well, there's been 3 popes at one time.
Oh yeah, there have been 3 popes at one time, and historians still fight who was the real one. Okay, next one. We're running out of time. Maybe one other question. Yes?
Father, where do we differentiate between the sin of human respect and treating someone with courtesy?
No, I'm sorry. Can you repeat this?
Where do we differentiate between the sin of human respect?
Sin of human respect?
Yes.
Oh, I understand. I'm sorry. I didn't understand it. Where do we differentiate between the sin of human respect and
Common courtesy.
common courtesy? Well, first of all, courtesy means how you immediately deal with a person in personal contact. You'll always be kind and nice, I hope. As far as human respect is concerned, to be kind and nice does not mean you tell him he's right. So if Baloney Cardinal Mahoney asks you why you do not go to his mass, you will courteously and in all politeness and with a heavenly American smile on your face tell him, because I believe your mass is illegitimate, and I believe you are a heretic and a schismatic, and I also believe you are a demonic help to the Democrats.
You characterized your ordination as valid but illegitimate, I believe you
Yeah, I've explained that.
What process, if any, would you want to or would you need to go through to cause your status to become legitimate?
None.
And what would be
None.
reasonable?
Zilch. I didn't know any better back then, so I'm not guilty of anything. And it is a valid consecration, and a future pope will clear up all these details, I hope, but I can't tell you if he will.
And would you have any characterization of that sort?
Oh yes, that I can. Yes, that I can answer. Now, I don't think that many of you are familiar with the papal document by Pope Pius VI, Auctorem Fidei. In Auctorem Fidei, Pope Pius VI condemns a so-called Synod of Pistoia, one of the Austrian archdukes who at the time was in the Bourbon family in Florence, and a bunch of renegade bishops got together and opened up a so-called Synod of Pistoia. In that Synod of Pistoia, we're talking about the 1780s. And in that so-called Synod of Pistoia, they came up with a lot of liberal proposals, the kind of proposals that you will find printed in Vatican II now. And because of political circumstances, Pius VI couldn't react immediately. He immediately condemned the Synod, but only in 1799 he wrote a document which, what is very rare, was not written to his fellow bishops, but to every Catholic. And it's called Auctorem Fidei. And in Auctorem Fidei, he says, in an introduction, he says, well, the purpose of a synod is to clarify terms, not to make them more complicated. Hear, hear. And then he condemns every single condemnable line in the Synod of Pistoia. He says, when the Synod of Pistoia says, that is to be considered heresy. When the Synod of Pistoia says, etc., that's to be considered offensive to Catholic ears, etc. So he's censoring the Synod of Pistoia. For example, at the Synod of Pistoia, they demanded a change of liturgy, a simplifying of liturgy, and Pope Pius VI called it offensive to Catholic ears and rather daring. So that will have to be done with Vatican II and all the sacraments that came out of Vatican II and all the schismatic rites. A future pope will have to say Vatican II was no council. And in addition to not having been a council, the following quotations of Vatican II are to be condemned. Sacrosanctum Concilium 22, Lumen Gentium 1, Lumen Gentium 8, Lumen Gentium 15, Lumen Gentium 16, Lumen Gentium 20, Unitatis Redintegratio 3, Dignitatis Humanae 2 and 3, Dei Verbum 8, Gaudium et Spes, the whole document. You understand? So there will, if God gives us the time, there will be a future pope who will nullify Vatican II and the Novus Ordo, and who will censor all the lines in Vatican II that are particularly offensive to Catholic ears.
And I assume that would also include all the new rites of sacraments?
That's what I just said. Oh, yeah.
You specified
Yeah, all the new rites. Yes. Yes. You're welcome.
We've got a lot of young families in this group, and I think there's probably a lot of potential vocations here. You have a worldwide view. Where can a young man seek a proper training for the priesthood?
Well, basically with the Society of St. Pius X. And if that for some reason is not possible, there can always be personal circumstances. It doesn't have to do anything with the society, but the society has a very strict seminary, and the Society of St. Pius X is a society with what is called life in common, vita communis. Not everybody is made for that. I mean, look at me.
It's just, is the form or matter when the priest's hands are consecrated?
Neither nor.
It doesn't make...
No, it's remote.
And whether
remote matter.
Whether the words are said that they are given the power to
remote.
Resolve.
Not necessary.
Not necessary.
No, unfortunately. Well, fortunately. if you know what I mean. Unfortunately, they have been cancelled, but fortunately they're not needed. Otherwise, I'd be sitting here as a layman.